You've seen her on television for years, including right here on WTNH. But did you know Sally Jesse Raphael is also an accomplished painter? Well, she is. Her work, including the piece on your screen right now, can be seen at the 6 Summit Gallery in Ivoryton. It's part of its transition show. It's also Sally's first exhibit in the United States. And Sally Jesse Raphael joins us now to talk about the show and her other career. Welcome home, Sally.
Thank you. It feels like home.
No, isn't this the studio where your talk show was born?
This studio, this chair, this wall, this everything, yes.
And so, what do you think about the transformation?
I think it's great. You know, it does feel like coming home, and this is so good for my ego. You have no idea. Everybody has been so nice to me here today.
You've seen some of your former employees.
The people, they stay in their jobs. That's amazing.
It brings you home, really, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Not like show business.
No, I know. So what are you doing now, basically?
Okay, basically, I'm still working on a TV show, and that's that hat, and that's that person, and that's that life. But the reality shows that they're doing today, which have nothing to do with reality, nothing, zip, no, you don't believe that stuff, do you? Come on,
Absolutely
kid.
Not.
No, it's in the editing
it's
room, let me tell you. Everything either scripted or in, and you know, anybody wants to argue that, call me up and we'll talk about it. My mother was a wonderful painter, and she's shown in some museums and galleries, and I could, you know, they used to say I can't draw the broadside of a barn. I don't know why anybody would want to draw the broadside of a barn, but I never did. And then one day after she'd passed for about 15 years,
really?
I bought some charcoal and a pad, and I started in 1993 and painted up a storm. I've been painting ever since.
You basically self-taught?
Yeah. Well, I spent a little while at the studio school in New York, which is really good, and I looked at them and they were much better than me, and I dropped out.
Well, your mother was so accomplished.
I know, I know.
What took you so long?
Afraid of competition, you know, afraid it wasn't good enough. A lot of artists have that, I think, that problem. I still have that inferiority complex about it. Not about broadcasting.
Absolutely not.
No, but certainly. And I get this call out of nowhere from Leo. Leo, how do you pronounce your last name? Leto.
And he's the owner of the gallery.
6 Summit.
Yes.
And it's in Ivoryton. And by the way, you didn't come to our reception.
I wanted to. I couldn't get there, but I understand it was a great time.
Can you just drop by? Because we're going to be there till, I think, the 1st of August.
1st of August, absolutely. As a matter of fact, we want to show some of your paintings right now.
Okay.
Our first one is, what is this one called?
This is a seascape, and it's huge. I mean, if
you've got a
huge,
space, like massive size?
Yeah, no, it's large. You got a space in your dining room, and you want to look at the sea, and you don't have this. You're not on the water. Too expensive in Connecticut. Then you can get something like that.
Is this a watercolor?
No, they're all oil on canvas.
All oils? Okay.
There's going to be one that's oil on paper, and.
What are we looking at here? Basically,
we're looking at the sea. There's another seascape.
There's another seascape. Because you split your time between France and Connecticut.
Right. I first started to paint in Vence.
Okay.
And we live in Nice now.
Okay, very good. So this is the French Riviera.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is in France.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And we live on the water. Got to be nice. Not here.
Absolutely.
Couldn't afford it in America.
So you can walk out and paint this?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You gotta love that.
I do. Oh, this is oil on paper. Richard Penna bought this for Gil, his friend, and it's called I Like to Sleep in the Woods.
And we know Richard Penna because he's the guy who did all your makeovers on the show, and he's a dear friend of mine as well, the Richard Penna Salon right here in Hampton.
Exactly.
Okay.
So he bought this for Gil. It's Gil's birthday. Happy birthday, Gil. And it's called I Like to Sleep in the Woods.
Yeah,
a lot of mine are I have fairies dancing in the bottom of our garden, and you'd have to decide which kind of fairy.
So how do you come up with this type of theme?
I think I'm strange. I'm a bit whimsical. And
you're supposed to be whimsical when you're an artiste. Okay, well, who's
That's my Aunt Barry, and she was Auntie Mame to the most, and that really is the way she is, not the way she looks, the way she is.
Does she like what you did with her here?
Yeah, she used to have, I think, I was starting to paint unicorns a lot. Don't ask me why.
I don't know. There's not a unicorn with her.
No,
here.
no. I aced out the unicorn.
Okay,
Aunt Barry
good.
is not for sale at Sixth Summit.
Okay.
This is a rose. I don't know how that got there. It's a rose floating in water. I don't particularly like it. It's one of the early ones I did in the late 90s. See, you don't have to like everything.
No, you
do.
don't.
No,
but it's very
creative.
creative.
Yeah.
So, how did France influence your way of painting?
There are so many bad artists in France.
Come on.
There are so many bad artists in France. I said, I can do better than that, for gosh sakes. So that's why. And the only problem is lugging the stuff from one country to another, because the people at security are sure there's something hidden in those canvases. I wish there were, but there's nothing but oil.
Now, do you paint it all here when you're in Connecticut?
I do.
You do.
I do.
So
I paint everywhere I go.
You do. So, will we see anything at this exhibit that says Connecticut all over
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
I wasn't smart enough to say, Leo wants some paintings he's going to put up there in the gallery. By the way, do people know that visiting galleries are free?
I would hope so.
I don't know.
Maybe not?
People say, what does it cost to go into a gallery and look around?
Nothing.
I go, nothing. Do you have to buy? No. Just show up.
Actually, it's very relaxing. I love going to galleries
because
I do too. You really absorb
you can take your time, and nobody's pushing you, and there's no guard going.
Okay, now that you're here in Connecticut, are you going to do some work here?
Of course,
so you're going to get out. You're right on the water as well here,
please.
so you can walk out and paint something fabulous.
Yeah.
So perhaps you'll finish some and then put it in Leo's gallery.
I want, as I said, I want to do either fairies or fairies.
Okay.
Now, or gargoyles or unicorns or something like that. This is the phase I'm getting into right now.
Okay, well that's
I don't know why.
Interesting.
By the way, people should go to the Ivoryton Playhouse. That's next to the gallery.
That. No,
Do you?
I do. Yeah, I'm a big supporter of the arts.
Have you been to see their plays? They're good.
They are, absolutely. Right now, let's take a look at where we can go to see your fabulous paintings.
Please.
And there it is, a Sixth Summit Gallery presenting the work of Sally Jesse Raphael.
And others.
Ivoryton, and others. And you can see it through August 1st, and hopefully Sally will finish something up this summer, and maybe you'll hang it in there before you leave.
By the way, there's something great in the kitchen.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And you're going to, hopefully you'll stick around, but if you don't, that's okay. Coming up next, we'll take you on the